Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. They tried it, y'all. They tried it. The Thunderbolt Ross thing. We're gonna talk about it here. But before we talk about it, I need y'all to do what you always do for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket, comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page. Let's get into it. Let's get active, y'all. Published 8 hours ago. Christopher McPherson, courtesy of Collider. So, somewhat reliable information source. Harrison Ford cast as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU. The iconic movie star is replacing the late William Hurt in the role. Iconic. 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 I said that a number of times because I want you to remember the word iconic. Now let's go through the usual rhetoric before I go off. Harrison Ford is joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe in what might be one of the biggest casting coups for the franchise so far. The Hot Mic and Film is reporting that the iconic star of the iconic star of Indiana Jones and Star Wars has been tapped by Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige to take over the role of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, which was played by William Hurt before the death of the actor earlier this year. Ford will be cast as Ross for multiple films. Ford will be cast as Ross for multiple films, with his debut reportedly set to come in the upcoming Captain America New World Order before joining another ensemble cast. He will also appear in the team-up movie Thunderbolts, which was shown off at this year's San Diego Comic-Con. The film is designed to be the finale to the MCU's Phase 5, and the full cast was announced at the time. Harrison Ford will be joining Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, Olga Kurylenko, Hannah John Kamen, Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, Julia Louis-Dreyfus in Marvel's biggest team-up movie since Avengers Endgame. Ford, of course, has a long-standing relationship with Disney throughout his work on the Lucasfilm's productions of Indiana Jones and Star Wars. He made his return after 32 years to a galaxy far, far away in Star Wars The Force Awakens, having softened his stance against the films that he had taken in the years immediately following his appearance in the original trilogy. Okay, this just goes on to yammer and yammer and yammer and yammer. That's a nice picture of Florence Pugh posing as a poser. That word, iconic. That word, iconic. Where have we heard the word iconic?
I wanted to acknowledge the devastating loss of a dear friend and member of the Marvel Studios family. Chadwick Boseman was an immensely talented actor and an inspirational individual who affected all of our lives professionally and personally. His portrayal of T'Challa the Black Panther is iconic and transcends any iteration of the character in any other medium from Marvel's past. And it's for that reason that we will not recast the character. However, to honor the legacy that Chad helped us build through his portrayal of the King of Wakanda, we want to continue to explore the world of Wakanda and all of the rich and varied characters introduced in the first film.
Just a little reminder in case y'all didn't remember that it was your man, Kevin Feige, who said that. Too iconic. So is it such a thing as too iconic? So Chadwick Boseman was too iconic. We don't know how iconic he was going to be because in order to be iconic, we got to have something else to compare it to. So if what I see transpiring is what's transpiring, is Harrison Ford a different kind of iconic than Chadwick Boseman? Is that what it is? Nah, couldn't be that. Couldn't be that. Are we saying that by not recasting the role Chadwick Boseman played as T'Challa in the MCU, but recasting the role that William Hurt played as Thunderbolt Ross and putting Harrison Ford in the role that William Hurt was in, are we saying Chadwick Boseman was a more iconic actor than both William Hurt and Harrison Ford? Nah, I know that ain't what the fuck you're saying. Okay, you're telling me and this is me. This is me. This is me saying it. You're actually trying to tell me that Marvel Studios does not believe Harrison Ford is a more iconic actor than Chadwick Boseman? The fuck? So the man who starred in American Graffiti, 4 Star Wars movies, 5 Indiana Jones movies, and 2 Jack Ryan films is less iconic, hence able to be recast in that role, able to be recast. We recasted him because he ain't iconic. So better than William Hurt, Academy Award winning actor too. Kiss of the Spider Woman, he's won an Oscar. So Chadwick Boseman is a more iconic actor than both of those actors who got 40 years in a piece. Got 80 years of experience between the two of them, at least. And Chadwick Boseman is a more iconic actor. Understand what I'm saying. It's not a knock on Chadwick Boseman. Let me repeat that again. It's not a knock on Chadwick Boseman because they said all of these things about Chadwick Boseman, and Chadwick Boseman was already graveyard dead when they said it. So, no, it's not a knock on Chadwick Boseman. It's not a knock on William Hurt or Harrison Ford either. Definitely a knock on the mugs who decided, after all this talk about recast T'Challa, recast T'Challa, recast T'Challa, didn't need it. You had the option of saying we ain't gonna do this movie project. We could have put it off to the side and said we'll get back at this when everybody's emotionally ready to do it. Nah, forge forward. There wasn't one fan on the face of this earth that said, no, keep your schedule, move forward. Not one. I can't find one. But somehow, Kevin Feige came to the conclusion that after all this talk and over 60,000 signatures on a petition and all these people out here screaming, ranting, raving, and hollering for a recast of that character, you said no. You said you couldn't do it at first. You said you wouldn't do it at first. You said there was no way you could do it at first. Then you said it was too soon. Just gonna turn around 6 months after this man's death. 6 months. I guess ain't nobody grieving hard for William Hurt. Oh, none of the people that worked with William Hurt was friends with William Hurt on the set of any Marvel movies. Nobody on the set of Incredible Hulk was friends with William Hurt. They didn't go out and eat and chop it up. They weren't close like that. William Hurt wasn't friends with the Russo brothers or anybody. Ain't nobody broke up over William Hurt's death. We can move forward and do that project. Captain America: New World Order must come out. We've got to do that movie. That movie's going off on schedule because it's finishing off a phase. We need that movie. Or does it boil down to the fact that a few people at Marvel Studios potentially could either be hypocrites, racists, or cold-hearted, cold-blooded ass capitalists? We about making that almighty dollar, and we don't give a damn what we got to do to make it. Lie, cheat, steal, lie. Cheat, lie, steal. Whatever we got to do, it's going down, and it's going down in a major way. I believe at least two of those things are true. I know they are cold-blooded, cold-hearted, reptile-ass capitalists. I know that for a fact. Hypocrites? Definitely. The literal definition of hypocrite is to say one thing and do another. You said Chadwick Boseman's portrayal of T'Challa in the MCU was so iconic that it transcends any iteration of the character. Because he was the only person to portray him. Is that why it transcends any iteration of the character across all forms of media? Is that why? Because he was the only live action one? That's what makes it iconic? You got some splaining to do, Kevin Feige. Okay? While you over here making mechanical Kevins on whack-ass She-Hulk episodes and idolizing yourself You narcissistic so-and-so you. I ain't feeling no parts of it. It don't do nothing but sour me on all things Marvel cinematically. And I know there are a lot of people like me that feel the same way. Y'all got to fix that. Period. I'm not listening to nothing. When an article comes out explaining why, there's no explanation. How are you trying to explain what you just did? That's like seeing two people guilty of the same crime. Same exact crime. Did the same exact thing. And you shoot one and let another one go. How do you justify shooting that one and letting this one go? How do you justify letting this one go and shooting this one? Not feeling it. There's no explanation. For me, there's no explanation. And when it comes out later on, refer to this video. There's no explanation, no earthly reason why whatsoever that you can explain this shit away. There's no explanation. And anybody trying to listen to that stupid ass explanation that we know is going to come out, because all of us are getting ready. We had our keyboards like, rah. It's finna go down. Okay? And they going to have to explain it. They can't just ignore this shit. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to explain. And when they do explain it, it's going to be a BS excuse. Get ready. It's coming. I'll be coming at y'all with another one of them other ones. Yo, and until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other. Hell, at least try.